dig into the topic at hand.
Sure.
You have taken advantage of the resources that were available to you from a larger authority, if you will, and
Mhm.
used it to position yourself differently than other agents in your market. So tell me, what caught your attention about this particular report?
Certainly. So the report is very comprehensive if you've seen it. I know you have, if our viewers have seen it. It's a probably 140 so pages cover to cover. And I saw it and I started reading it. And then I actually saw the podcast, listened to the podcast with Michael Altenew and Diane. And it really struck me as chock full of great information. People love talking about real estate. And it was one of those products where I thought, this is something that would be great to share. And it's hard to get everybody to read 140 pages, but there were so many insights and it was so robust that I thought there's got to be a way that I can share this rather than just handing it out. Certainly, I can give it to people and have this one on one conversation, but what's the broader way that this could be shared? And that's where I came up with thinking about what if I turned it into the start of a series on luxury and pulling in other videos that I've already done that relate to luxury. And then how do we, sort of extend that? So that's what I wanted to do is bring the report to life in a different way and then hopefully encourage people to read more, but also break it up into, pieces that may
Manageable. Yeah, manageable.
manageable. That's it.
And when you and I were talking prior to the recording, you mentioned the idea that storytelling through video
That's right.
versus two-dimensional marketing in a print piece in any capacity, whether it's 2 pages or 100, had a really captivating appeal. So tell us what kind of stories you're telling in the videos.
Certainly. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly it. I mean, it was sort of this aha moment. We have all of this knowledge, we have all of this data and all of this insights. And people who live in Washington are very intelligent. We have a very intelligent, thought seeking, insight driven community. And I knew that it would be something that would be important to them, just like it is to people around the globe. And having this knowledge sort of validates what we do as an agent, right? It sort of validates that you know what you're talking about in any position in real estate. You either need to know about the house at an open house, or you need to know about the market you're serving, whether it's a city, a neighborhood. And in this case, it's luxury. And I wanted to help establish myself as the authority, one of the authorities of luxury. What does that mean? What does that entail? How do we envision that? What do we see around the globe? And so that's really where this storytelling came into mind. And I broke it into 4 parts to tell a story. I felt like it was easy to group into sort of 4 different distinct categories and tell the story around those topics rather than luxury as this big picture. So if we break it into what happened 2020, 21, and is it happening in 2022, right? And then what were the trends that we saw for the buyer? What did the luxury buyer look like? And what does that story look like? What were the market trends that we saw in terms of what homes looked like and how people wanted to function in them? And then what's the global outlook? Did everybody in Paris think the same way that we did, or was it different? And so that's really how I wanted to tell each of those 4 stories and break up that report so it's digestible and easy to manage and also piques certain people's interest on different topics.
It makes perfect sense to me. And those manageable sizes. I was going to ask if you had initially thought of doing this series or just a single
Mm.
video, but I think you knew right away that it needed to be broken up.
You're exactly right. It was one of those where, you can get into very long format on YouTube. I have tried to work to keep my channel in sort of this sweet spot of 8 to 12 minutes. And I think that's enough that your viewer can learn, my viewer can learn, but I don't necessarily lose them. And so having it that way in a nugget where people can listen in a 10-minute time frame or so. And then also, again, somebody may be very interested in what's happening globally Somebody else may be very interested in the luxury buyer. Somebody else may be very interested in what does a luxury home look like. So we tell each of those little stories. But it was immediately I thought, how do I break this into pieces and make it a series? And the other part of that, Tammy, is that it's such a great resource. It makes sense to extend the use of it
Absolutely.
more than just once, right?
Yep. The leveraging factor is just built in naturally there.
It's naturally built in. That's a great way to say it.